Hello, my name is Rachel and this is part 2 of my bookshelf tour, and this is mainly going to be of the desk you see behind me, so yeah, please enjoy. And at the top of my desk, this bookshelf is kind of a mix. We have some dystopian, classics, children's books, fantasy books, and so I'm just going to show you the books on this shelf now. So then we have some poetry books. The first is Hold Your Own by Kate Tempest, My Last Duchess and Other Poems by the fantastic Robert Browning, Jabberwocky and Other Poems by Lewis Carroll. Then we have a few dystopians. The first is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, 1984 by George Orwell, The Power by Naomi Alderman, Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, and the Herland Trilogy by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. This bind-up includes Moving the Mountain, Herland, and With Her in Our Land. Then we move on to some classics. So we have the beautiful Anna Karenina in the Vintage Russian Classics edition by Leo Tolstoy, the disgusting and terrible new Penguin Modern Classics editions of It Can't Happen Here by Sinclair Lewis and We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. Don't know if you can tell, but I'm really bitter about the cover change. North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, Shirley by Charlotte Bronte, Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. I have actually read around 200 pages of this, but then I put it down and just didn't pick it back up, so I need to start again with this one. Sons and Lovers by D.H. Lawrence, The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann, and Bleak House by Charles Dickens, which I'm doing an absolutely terrible job of following a read-along for, so that's annoying. The Ballad of the Sad Cafe by Carson McCullers, Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I'm really excited for this one. The Professor by Charlotte Bronte, Mariana by Monica Dickens, The Stars Tennis Balls by Stephen Fry, The Paper Menagerie by Ken Liu. I have read around 5 stories from this and I've absolutely adored every single one of them. I just find it hard to persevere with short story collections because once I've read one, it's a complete finished thing, so then I find it hard to do the next one straight after. Morning Star by Pierce Brown, which I'm finally going to read soon. I'm so excited for that. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, The Martian by Andy Weir, The Gunslinger, which is the first book in the Dark Tower series by Stephen King, The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, The Mirror Empire, this is the first in the Worldbreaker saga by Cameron Hurley, Heidi by Joanna Spyri, The Girl of Ink and Stars by Kieran Millward Hargrave, this beautiful illustrated edition of The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling, How to Start a Revolution by Lucy Ann Holmes, The Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx and Frederick Engels, Aphorisms on Love and Hate by Friedrich Nietzsche, Decker and Cyclops by Omer, The Withered Arm by Thomas Hardy, and in the new Penguin Modern editions we have The Duke and His Domain by Truman Capote, Dark Days by James Baldwin, and Notes on Nationalism by George Orwell. On this second shelf I have my literary fiction, historical fiction, and YA, it's just kind of goes anywhere really. I've just got a few bits that are on here, so I will take them off. I also have some cute fairy lights there. Here I have a bookmark which has a quote from Jane Eyre that says the word book acted as a transient stimulus. And then up here is where I also keep all my bookmarks and also my Game of Thrones tickets because I'm well excited for that. And then the only other thing up here is a quote from Terry Pratchett that says the first draft is just you telling yourself the story, and that's just because when you feel like you're writing and it's shit, you need to look up and see quotes like that basically. So over on the literary fiction side we have Swimming Lessons by Claire Fuller, The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton, Hagseed by Margaret Atwood, The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry, probably one of the most beautiful books I own, The Good People by Hannah Ken, The Remains of the Day by Kazu Ishiguro, The Marriage Plot by Jeffrey Eugenides, Tipping the Velvet by Sarah Waters, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, Human Acts by Han Kang, Autumn by Ali Smith, Grief is the Thing with Feathers by Max Porter. I have read this one, I just really want to reread it because I love it. The Penguin Lessons, A True Story by Tom Mitchell, How to Build a Girl, a Novel by Caitlin Moran, All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven, Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan, City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare, this is book 4 in the Mortal Instruments series, Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, this is book 1 in the Infernal Devices trilogy, If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo, Cinder by Marissa Meyer, this is book 1 in the Lunar Chronicles. Then we have books 3 and 4 in Sarah J Maas's Throne of Glass series, this is Heir of Fire and Queen of Shadows. My True Love Gave to Me, edited by Stephanie Perkins. This is an anthology of like romantic Christmas stories. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Colthurst. And finally on this shelf we have The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. And then we have the main part of my writing desk, which just has a few books off to the side, which I will show you now. So we have A Year of Living Happily by Lewis Blythe, The Yoga Healer, Remedies for the Body, Mind and Spirit by Christine Burke, Zen in the Art of Writing by Ray Bradbury, Politics and the English Language by George Orwell, The Sense of Style, The Thinking Person's Guide to Writing in the 21st Century by Steven Pinker, 52 Pep Talks for Writers by Grant Faulkner, The Story of a New Name by Eleanor Ferrante. No, this is not in the wrong place, it's just I use this for Blackout Poetry because I have no desire to read it, so that's why it's here. And then the Oxford German Mini Dictionary. So here we have my desk where I write or do butchery videos or whatever I do during the day. And underneath I keep all my German related stuff. So I won't really show you over on this side because this is like German textbooks and stuff like that for learning German. However, here are all the books I have in German that I hope to read one day and that I'm using to help me learn German. So I'm going to go through those quickly now. So you have Matcha, eine Geschichte der Insel Errans by Grimaldi Plenska. Christie's Tagebucher, this is by Joris Shamblin und Aurélie Nere. Then we have some picture books. So we have The Gruffalo by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. So war das by Dan Remmers de Vries and Philip Hopman. The Kleine Bar und das Mondscheinwunder by Gillian Lobel and Tim Varnes. Who the Bar by A. Milne and E. H. Shepard. Von sagenhaften Katzen und tollkühnen Bären, 77 gute Geschichten, und this is by Erwin Moser. So then we have books 2 and 3 in the Hunger Games trilogy, but in German. They call it Die Tribute von Pan M, and the first is Flammender Zorn and Gefahrlich Liebe, and these are both by Suzanne Collins. Der kleine Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Greg's Bibliothek by Jeff Kinney. This is basically the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. They are very easy to read, so a good starting place. Milk and Honig by Rupi Kaur. Friedhof der Kuscheltier by Stephen King. This is Pet Sematary. Keine Ort ohne dich by Nicholas Sparks. Wie ein einziger Tag by Nicholas Sparks. H.G. Wells' Die Zeitmaschine, and this is obviously the time machine. Der Fantastische Mr. Fox by Roald Dahl. Charlie und die Schokoladenfabrik by Roald Dahl. Then we have the Harry Potter books by J.K. Rowling. I have books 1, 4 and 5 in German currently. I want to collect all of these. And these are the hardback editions. We have Harry Potter und der Stein der Weisen, Harry Potter and the Feuerkelch, and Harry Potter und der Orden des Phönix. Then we have some of the special language learning books. So they make these specifically for what level you are at. The first one is Frau Holle und an der Märchen, and das ist from the Brothers Grimm. This is A1. So when you learn a language, you do like A1, A2, B1, B2. So this is a way of tailoring the reading to your level, so you can actually start reading, even though it's quite hard to read some books right now. So this is Frau Holle und an der Märchen, die Speer führt nach Bayern und der Mond war Züge. The first one is A1 and then the other two are A2/B1. And finally, just have a little fact file on Pinguina because I love penguins, so that is motivating. You may have noticed that German books have their spines the opposite way around to how we have ours, and that is why they are all on a shelf together, because I cannot stand German books being next to English books because the spines are the wrong way around and I don't like it. So that's why these are under here. So that was my bookshelf tour for my books here that I have in Switzerland. It's not really possible to do one for my books in England because I don't live there at the moment. Maybe one day if I ever sort them out. But yeah, thank you very much for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye!